With this, we come to our next session on technology meets food, a fireside chat between Mr. Nilesh Shah, who is an entrepreneur, retail and restaurant consultant, sales coach, and director marketing Brands Lab, and Mr. Sean Kenworthy, who is a chef, restaurateur, consultant, and food and travel writer. So over to you, Sean, to take this.
Thank you, thank you. So Nilesh, obviously this is going to be an interesting session, I think, and in a lot of interesting chatter for a lot of people. If you can tell us a little bit about Rants Lab, I think we can start there.
Hi Sean and hi Aryant. Hope you all are watching, are keeping well and good. Renslab is a 25 years young startup, I would say. We just completed our 25 years in June last month, and we love assisting retail restaurants and hotel businesses with our all-in-one software that tracks, controls, and optimizes all the business processes such as point of sale system, inventory management, loyalty program, supply chain management, payroll, analytics, and chain outlets. And the software works for all size of businesses, small or large, standalone outlet to a chain, online or offline, and presents all the actionable reports on time, on the move. And with these data-backed decisions, these businesses makes profit sooner, reaches break-even faster, and opens new outlets quicker.
So just before we get on to the next question, where have you seen the most growth in this? I'm guessing in or use of your products. I'm guessing in QSR kind of like formats, fast food formats. I'm guessing.
There has been. I mean, if I talk about the so previously it was like fine dine restaurants where you go to with your family or go out with your friends to a restaurant or something, but these concepts have changed over the years, and more of pickup, home food, going out, clubbing, disco, nightclubs. So there are various formats added now, food courts with multiple brands in it. So food has become, kind of destination. So it's just not about going out and fulfilling your hunger. It's more about experience. It's more about enjoying the time with your family, your friends. That's how that it is. And with rising needs and demands, there are more of QSRs. Of course, fine dining is doing good. There are food courts, and then there are different models of food businesses wherein food trucks are there, canteens are there.
So what are the main changes that you've found in the last 25 years as a company working in that sector?
We have seen and made technology change colors and sizes. With colors, I would say from black and white world of DOS and Linux to colorful world of Windows, iOS and Android. And with size, I would say from a 15-inch desktop to a 5-inch mobile screen. This is the journey we all have traveled. And in days to come, technology has come a long way. If you ask my personal opinion, more than technology, it is the adaptation which has brought a paradigm shift into whole of it. Some of the innovations that we have done in terms of food tech, in terms of technology, is data-driven dining using artificial intelligence. Because this is a human intense industry and people are dependent on people, be it captains, wait staff, serving staff. So this technology needs to be more smarter. That's where this data-driven dining using artificial intelligence come into play. Then we've got something called enhanced customer experience using machine learning. So software itself keeps the track of what your customers are eating, and it's more like a social selling that helps your captain do more of sales, upsells and cross-sale. Then managing your product information and data using quantum computing, and getting better insights and measuring business KPIs using business intelligence reporting. So these are some of the big data thing which has been working very good for a couple of large brands we are catering worldwide.
So from your point of view, what are some of the unheard kind of like challenges, let's say, for the industry that are very much unique to only our industry?
All right. So instead of putting it as a challenges, I would like to put it as a constructive input, so that restaurants can make a note from this and start implementing it in their day-to-day businesses. Reading the sales report means I clocked my sales at 100,000 a day or 80,000 a day or 150,000 a day. But what is moving, what is not moving? What should I keep in my menu? What should I throw out of my menu? This will come only once you analyze your sales data.
Obviously, as a 25-year-old food tech company, what would be your advice to a food tech startup?
I would say food tech startups are growing like mushroom tops these days. Every other guy is making one or the other app and coming to the marketplace. I consider all of them as fellow entrepreneurs sharing equal love and passion for food and technology. But some of the lessons which I learned hard way, I would like to share it so that can become milestones for their journey in this food tech scenario. The first thing is, instead of becoming a key player of your business, become a better coach. Don't wear multiple hats or juggle with them. Do things you are really good at and passionate about, because that's where your key strengths are. Hire people more innovative than you, mentor them, and allow them to take decisions. Second thing I would say is, come out of the laborer's mindset and get into an outcome-driven mood. When I say labor-driven mindset is, we just do hard work and mindless slogging. I work 14 hours, I work 16 hours, I work 18 hours. What's the point? What is the output after working for 16 hours?
So what advice would you give to restaurateurs, whether they're established restaurateurs or people who are looking to go into the business, before they invest in some software?
As a software, I would say, don't just buy multiple software for doing multiple things. For doing a billing, you buy a point of sale system. For doing your inventory, you use spreadsheet or some registers. For doing your financial accounting, you buy some financial accounting management software. And then as the owner of the business, when you want to compile data, you have to take down data from all 3 or 4 different softwares. And by the time you compile the data, this data is about 3 weeks old. So in today's fast-paced world, what will you do with the data which is 3 weeks old? Something which is gone is already gone. You can't do anything. So all you need to do is to put a system that connects and controls all your business processes into one and gives you a result on your key tip. You are not dependent on an individual. You are not dependent on any company. Your software should speak to you. Rather, it should start sending out reports to you. Now, a lot of people think that, when I'm buying a software, I'm starting up with the restaurant. People are little tied up with the capital investment. So whether we should invest into a 5,000 software or whether we should invest into a 50,000 software. When you're looking for a software, start looking at not from the money perspective, start looking at from the output perspective. No matter, and it's just not money that you are going to invest. Along with money, you are also going to invest your time and efforts. So after you invest your time, money and efforts, what is the break-even time in which you are going to get this amount back? And similarly, till the time you use this software, you are going to get this money back, which brings you to the ROI part. So focus it from the perspective of investment, break-even and ROI, the same way you do it for your business. And your answers will be in front of you.
So a great session. I think a lot of great information for anybody out there, whether you are a restaurateur, whether you're planning to be a restaurateur, whether you want to be a startup. I think there's some great information there, and I think there's a lot of great takeaways from that little conversation.